What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over my UFC Fight Night Blanchfield versus Barber predictions. But before we get into it, just looking over the card, it's not too good. The UFC's event quality has really been suffering lately, and there wasn't any fights last week. The week before that, it was Morales versus Gilbert Burns, which really was a horrible event. Before that, I believe it was UFC 315. That was a good card, but kind of suffered due to some of the events being canceled on it. But this event, just in women's MMA, WMMA event, main event, and it's in the UFC Apex. I usually like it when it's in a real big arena, public arena, that a lot of people are able to go to. But the co-main event really should be the main event. There's not too many fights to go over. I've barely heard of any of these guys. I've only really heard of Jordan Levitt on the prelims. This really is probably a good time for a lot of these fighters, new fighters in the UFC, to make their debut. This would really be the place and time to do it on a bad card like this, and then kind of get yourself going on a win streak if you could. But just starting off in the beginning, the main card, never heard of either of these guys. Caitlin Vieira, she's the underdog. Macy Chiasson, I've seen her fight Mayra Bueno Silva before. I think Caitlin Vieira is gonna take this one. The odds are pretty close, but I've seen her fight Kayla Harrison. She's a dog, so I think she's probably gonna pull this one off. That's why there's not that big of a betting difference. Macy Chiasson, however you say her name, is probably decent. I don't really remember her performance, but we'll see what happens. Dustin Jacoby, he got a pretty good knockout last time he fought, and he got knocked out by Dominic Reyes before that fight. I think he's probably going to take this one, but I've never seen this guy fight, so I wouldn't know. Going up, we got Billy Ray Golf. I feel like I've heard of him before, and he's fighting whoever this guy is, but I don't have a pick for this fight. And we're already on the co-main event. This video is pretty short, so this is where I could probably get some more content in right here. So if you guys sticked around, this is where I'm probably going to start yapping away. So we got Mateusz Gamrot, who's a decent favorite, not too big of a favorite, slight to moderate favorite. We got Klein, who's a big underdog, not a big underdog, a slight underdog. I've never actually seen Klein fight, but I know it seems like he fights pretty often, but it's about every 6 months. And he hasn't fought recently in about 6 months because it almost seems like he's been holding out for them to find a ranked fighter to put him against to get him in the rankings. And he, instead of fighting someone in the 10 to 15 range, he's immediately jumping into the top 10, fighting number 7th ranked Mateusz Gamrot. And Gamrot is no slouch. He went to war with Dan Hooker. He trains at American Top Team. I know he also went to war with Arman. He's fought a lot of the best guys. He went to war with Benil. Pretty sure he lost that fight. I don't really remember. But Gamrot, I don't really know because I haven't seen Klein fight, and that's the problem with this one. Klein, from what I know, he seems decent. I know he's on a pretty decent win streak. And then Gamrot, he's just a dog, and he really just tears you down with his wrestling. His last fight, he lost to Dan Hooker by split decision. It's a pretty close fight. I don't really see how they could have scored it for Gamrot, but some people did. Personal opinion, I guess, about what you're looking out for. I think Gamrot's going to try to take him down. I don't know about Klein's grappling. takedown accuracy. It seems he has better takedown defense, and he has better takedown accuracy. But Gamrot, I know he tries to get a takedown every single. He's the only person in the UFC to get at least one takedown, or one of two lightweights ever to get a takedown every single fight. I think I want to take Gamrot. My mind tells me Gamrot, probably by decision, because he'll just wrestle him to the mat and just probably kind of smash him. We'll see what happens though. I think Gamrot's probably gonna try to win by decision. Gamrot's cool. I mean, I wouldn't mind if he wins, but I want to see some new talent. And Klein is the first Slovakian UFC fighter, so that kind of interests me because some new talent coming from Europe. Klein. I mean, my mind says Gamrot. My heart says Klein because I want to see some new talent. I want to get on the hype train of some new fighters because a lot of the old generation's kind of retiring. They're kind of dying out, going on losing streaks. So I'm going to choose Gamrot with this one. I'm going to choose Gamrot, but I wouldn't be surprised if Klein won. I don't know too much about him, but I'm going to choose Gamrot. And already on the main event, Erin Blanchfield versus Maycee Barber. Maycee Barber's a really aggressive fighter. I actually haven't seen her fight, but Erin Blanchfield, she's one of the only women's MMA fighters that I kind of follow. That I watch her fights. I don't really sit back and just kind of scroll on my phone during her fights. I watch her fights. Compared to a lot of the other women's MMA fighters I watch, but she has a lot of 5-round experience. Her last 3 fights have been 5 rounds. Manofaro, Rose Namajunas, and I forget who else. Maybe this is the third. I forget. I had it formatted in my mind, but I forgot what her history was. But Maycee Barber's a really aggressive fighter. She doesn't have that 5-round experience. She's just so muscly and so big for her weight class. I think she has the height disadvantage. Or advantage. Yeah, she has the height advantage. But this fight got moved up because she missed weight by a lot. So you see, she looked really drained on the scales. I don't know why she's fighting at at this weight class. She's so big for her weight for 125. But I think Erin Blanchfield's just gonna take this into the later rounds, just absolutely dominate her. That's kind of what she did to Rose Namajunas. She actually had Rose hurt later in the fight. But yeah, Erin Blanchfield, I think she's gonna be coming to a title fight soon. Against Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina is probably going to fight Zhang Weili. And if she loses to Zhang Weili, whoever wins that is probably going to go on to fight Natalia Silva and then move on to fight whoever the winner of this fight is. I think both of these fighters are probably one win away from a title shot. Maycee Barber is possibly 2 wins, but I would just say Erin Blanchfield's probably a lot closer because the last time she lost was 2 fights ago, or was 2 fights ago. But it was against Manofaro, and that's the person that just fought Valentina. So we'll see what happens. Erin said she's been working on her boxing recently, so I wouldn't be surprised if she somehow found a knockout. While Maycee's a really aggressive fighter, and Erin is known for having a lot better grappling, but this fight is just kind of a grappler versus striker in my opinion. But I think Erin Blanchfield's probably gonna end up taking it somehow. Probably take it in the later rounds and just kind of grind her down, just kind of slow her down and beat her in the cardio sector of the fight, and I think she'll probably pull it off by decision or possibly maybe a late submission. when Macy gets tired, but we'll see what happens. But thank you guys so much for watching. That was my official pick for UFC Fight Night: Blanchfield versus Barber. See you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.